Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Thanks for being with us. Today we're talking about auctions. And remember, you can bid on a Hank Aaron signed baseball, and you can do that on Twitter. Just use hashtag 755. That auction will be open until Wednesday at 3. We have Scott Schwartz here with the Commercial Auction Group. And Scott, how can brokers get involved in the auction process? They can be very helpful and benefit from the process, right?
Absolutely, especially now as the market's getting better and you've got some listings that have been out there for a while that you're trying to move and get done. Well, we always recommend with most brokers, if you've got a situation, you've got a seller that needs to move a property, just give us a call. Typically, let us go take a look at it on the front end,
and do it before they do, right? So you can be involved.
Listen, I would say this. If you've got a listing for a period of time, or you're not close to your seller, and you're not at least mentioning auction to some degree in certain situations, not all, but in some degree, they might do that on their own.
Or even in the back room talking to the auction guy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
And then you're out of the mix. But if you call us on the front end, a few good things can happen. We can look at it, and one, it could potentially result into a successful auction. Two, it's not always bad if it doesn't turn into an auction. We can sometimes get away with maybe telling your seller some things that the past or the existing broker can't say. We're kind of a second opinion, and I hate to say maybe a call to reality. And when we do that, we can help that broker do a couple things: potentially extend the listing and get the price down to something that's maybe more realistic and tuned that'll help that broker get it sold. Or three, often we can help that broker realize that it may be time to say goodbye.
And what is the role of the broker then if it goes to auction, and how are they compensated?
We like to do this. Typically, for most times, if they'll get us involved, we like to kind of take it from there, from a different type of marketing approach altogether. Again, the seller will pay some level of upfront advertising costs, and that certainly fluctuates. But we like to rely on two things. One, taking the broker's information that they've worked hard for. They've already got a lot of sweat, time, energy, and effort in this thing. Let us take that information that you've got about the asset, including the prospects, maybe not the ones that we're going to give you the list price, but at least some amount less than that, and make them aware of the auction, handle the marketing of it, facilitate the auction, and then typically the time of the auction, we'll typically split on a 50-50 basis the commission that comes in, which many times it can be that 10% buyer's premium, and so a broker looks at that as being an opportunity to move something and still earn a fair commission. And then here's another bonus to it is we're really good about keeping spreadsheets on who we talk about. So it's not just your past prospects, it's the new blood that we attract to that auction. And once the auction's over, we've got non-refundable earnest money and a closing in 30 days. I'll sit down with that broker that brought us the deal that we've been working with on it and share with them all the new people that came too, because it's not just a commission on that deal, it's future commissions on people that said, hey, I'm buying real estate or potentially have real estate to sell.
And I'm in your area. Absolutely. And I think this is beneficial too, because even if you're a seller and your broker's worked hard on this and it's just not moving, you really like for him to be compensated and involved. So you could have your broker contact someone like you, and they're still involved and they're getting a fee. So either if you're the broker or the seller, you might like that situation.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than loyalty, which is
a big part of integrity.
Absolutely. And we like it. So if for sellers out there that do feel a little bit of a loyalty to their broker that's been working hard and want to see them get compensated, but also want to see it an end to getting their property closed, it's not going to cost you anymore. It's just a different approach.
And they can be very helpful to the process. I know we've done it where our brokers have gone to auction with you, and they can add some value to the marketing process. And our time is up today. Scott, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate all the great information.
Certainly, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
And if you'd like some more information from Scott, his website is commercialauctiongroup.com. Well, thanks for being with us today, and be sure and join us next week. We're going to talk about migration and demographics effect on real estate. So it's a great show. Be sure and join us. And thanks for joining us this week. Be sure, until next week, you always lead, learn, and laugh, and join us for the Commercial Real Estate Show.
The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Florida International University and Bull Realty Commercial Brokerage, a great place to do business. For more information on these companies or to access additional podcasts, videos, or blogs, visit commercialrealestateshow.com.